Hey there, Rubiconos. As you can see, I got a lot of play in this wheel. It's because of the bushing, not the bearings. I done did this already. As you can see, moving pretty good. I did the other side, so we're not moving at all. So I'm going to show you how to make this bushing for this problem. These are the old bushings. They wear out and start wearing out into your knuckle, all up in here, all up in there. And you're going to make it out of PEX, 3/4 inch PEX. Doesn't matter what color. You cannot use PVC. I done tried PVC already, and PVC does not work. So these little bushings, $18 a piece from Honda. That'd be around about $150 about for 8 of them. And or you could buy the Chinese junk that lasts us for a month or two for 100. So what we're gonna do is take the wheel off and show you what to do. So now we got a better look. At the top, at the bottom. All right, so we're going to take this bolt out. And also we're going to take the shock bolt out so we can maneuver this thing to work with it. So after you got the shock off, and then the top part of the knuckle come off, these caps come off here, and I'm going to oil these guys with some oil a little bit so it'll slide off a little better. Okay, the oil been soaking for a minute or so. So get the screwdriver and pry these off. You might have, the other side I had to pry all the way around it, easy. Comes off like that. Save this guy and do the same thing to the other side. Alright, now that we have that, you can slide out this bolt. Not a bolt, sleeve. And what we're going to do with that later is put it on a grinder and smallest grinder smooth because it's got a bevel in it. So you're going to take a 1/4 inch extension, stick it in there, get it on an angle, and you're going to beat it out. Take a look over here. Alright. See that? Okay. Do the same thing to the other side. So after you got all that clear, you might want to get all this mud and clean it all out, because it will stop that pipe from going all the way through. So you're going to cut your 3/4 inch PEX pipe 3 5/16 long. We're not worried about that little flange you've seen on a bushing because we're going to stick it out a little bit past. Then you're going to put a mark on there, 1/4 inch with your tape measure, and we're either going to cut it on a table saw down there, raise your blade just a little bit to cut it, or you can put it on a bandsaw and cut it straight up. Cut that side and then cut that side. look like. And on a bandsaw, you do the same thing. Maybe put the fence up and cut it that way. Now, if you don't have none of these tools, maybe use a Dremel to cut it. If you put it in the vise to hold it, it's going to squeeze and bind the blade. Don't know what else to tell you to do. So if you're making these, you might as well take your length of pipe and make, I don't know, make 10 of them. Give them to your friends, save them for later. They'll probably last for like 2 years. This only takes less than 5 minutes to make. So, and putting it on the bike, taking it off, maybe 15 minutes. Okay, so now we're gonna squeeze it in. Put it at the top. Should go in pretty easy. If you got to beat the damn thing in, it's too tight. All right. So we want it to stick out a 1/16 of an inch over here and 1/16 of an inch on this side. If it's too long, too short, redo it. All right, so before we put our little rings and caps on, I'll put this stuff called Magic Lube. Anybody who has swimming pools, y'all should know about this stuff. This stuff's actually better than grease. And it's better than dielectric grease for all your electrical problems and stuff, because you can't wash this crap off. You got to use a rag or something else. You just can't wash it off. Dielectric grease you can wash off. You use dielectric grease for everything. But this is the good stuff. So now we're going to put these little bushings on. I don't know which way they're going. Shit. Something like that. Alright. Put your caps back on. Okay, so now we're all done. That's it. Put your bolt back in. And you're good to go. This is the tension nut. So a tension nut is, it can't come off by itself. And you don't have to tighten this up. You just got to snug it till it touches this. A little more. A little more. All right. Got a little play in it. That's what I want. The nut will not come off because it's a tension nut. It has to come off with 2 wrenches. It will not vibrate off. All right, so there you go. You're finished with that. You do the same procedure with the one at the bottom. All right, now we have a shock issue. This little guy wears out also. See this? Oh, by the way, these little rubber rings that I showed you, some of them might be deteriorated or disappeared and worn out. That's okay. You don't need that little rubber thing. Just put your caps back on. You're good to go. All right. So back down here, we got these little these rings here. There we go. There we go. So what comes out of it is this bushing and this rubber ring. So we're gonna replace it with some. Now this here is 3/4 PVC. It's not PEX. Remember, you can't use PVC for these knuckle bushings. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut I don't know, 3 or 4 inch piece, and you're gonna make one cut on a table saw. And that's it. And then you're gonna rip it down 3/16, and that's gonna go right. You squeeze it, and it's going to fit right into there. Of course, put your little bearing. You might have to sand this, put this on a grinder or whatever, and you push the other side out. Clean all this dirt out. little spray oil, and you're going to squeeze it in, and there you go. That's going to be good to go. It closes up all the way. And do that for the other side of your shock also. And don't forget to put this little guy back in. So if you're having a little trouble getting this guy back together, we're going to stick the bolt through it and squeeze it together with the ratchet. Don't forget they got a washer that goes in between here, and the washer goes out on here. You got two washers that comes off of this assembly here. So the washer goes in between. Okay, we got it together. We got the washer in the middle, the washer on the outside the end. And now we can put a wrench on the back side and suck everybody in. Now this is also a tension nut, so this is not going to get backed off by itself. It needs two wrenches. So there you go. But remember, do this one first, do the top one, do the bottom one before you fix this guy, unless if he don't need to be fixed or not, you just leave him alone. Okay, so this is the bottom knuckle. Look how loose this is. It worn out that much. And if you look at it, it went past. You can see it's starting to wear into the aluminum, which it's not supposed to do. So it's kind of important to do this, I guess, when you change your bearings and you have it all out already. So if you wheel shake, don't just think it's your bearings. But when this is bad, it'll ruin your knuckle and you might have to get a new one. This is the results of the other side that I did. It worn out. That's your natural worn. And it's wearing out into the aluminum. You see how wobbly that is. Not supposed to be like that. Oh. Look how much egg shape this is. Pretty worn out. Now sometimes this sleeve has a buildup right here. This is all worn down and it might be hard to get in. I can't do this with my camera, but I put it on here, kind of bumped the switch, and I kind of grind everybody flat like you see right here. And that gets rid of this big bump, because if you're trying to put this in the PEX pipe, it might be kind of hard and you can't get it in. Don't beat it in. And so just kind of grind this a little bit. Okay, we got everything back together and we are not moving. It is stiff like factory new. That might last about 2 years. Now if I let this go in the comments, I do believe that Partzilla employees and other parts place that sell these parts will knock my tip of the day. So they'll probably say it's dangerous, you'll kill yourself, or your wheel's gonna fall off and hurt somebody else, or don't last but a week, but it's bullshit. So that's what happened when I did a motorcycle video, when I did something for an improvement and they didn't like it. So that's, anyway, so don't listen to negative comments. Go ahead and do it yourself. Find out. Just changing this part is maybe 10-15 minutes on each one. Cutting out the PVC, sorry about that, the PEX pipe. I think a 6 or 8 foot length is only a few dollars, and you can probably make about 30-40 of them. So don't listen to the negative comments, because they probably work for these sales places. Just be careful when you cut your PVC pipe on the saw. Maybe you might want to take the whole pipe and just rip about 4 inches and then cut it. You know, just rip it down on a table saw to keep your hands away. I don't recommend doing a whole pipe because it is a little flexible. You might not get a good cut. So just do like 4 inches and then cut it off your 3 5/16 or maybe 3 3/8. So, and like I said, if a 1/4 inch doesn't make it and it don't go in there, you got to beat it too hard. Might just have to trim it just a little bit. I had to do that on one of them. I don't know why, but the other one was just a 1/4 inch. So a 1/4 inch close to 5/16. But I think if you do close it in, it does have a little crack. I don't think that matters too much, but I would put that crack towards the top. Up, not the bottom, because it looks like it wears at the bottom. So I'm finished with that. Also check out my heel toe foot shifter on YouTube also. You don't have to use your toes, use your heel. The heel toe shifter. Yeah, looks kind of funny, but look at my other YouTube video of how to make a heel toe shifter. And believe me, it saves your toes. I like it. I broke one of them and I had to have it. So I made another one. So check out that video. So guys, if you got a tip and trip to help out somebody else, put it on YouTube. Try to make a video and give back.